Hello, hello, friends. It's Nancy Thompson with Create with Nancy, and it's time for some creative ink. So, I know I'm late. Oh my goodness, technology just is not my day today. I don't know what's going on. So anyways, I couldn't link, so I'm only live today on Facebook. So I will upload this video to YouTube later on. For you all to see. So yeah, I don't know why it disconnected. I can't stream to two places at once, and I should be able to. So anyway, so I hope you're here and you're ready for some creative ink. I hope you stuck around to see today, because today we are playing with pumpkins. It's time to do some pumpkin picking today. Yay! It's kind of that fall weather is getting here, and we got to start thinking of pumpkins, decorating, eating pumpkins, and everything else. I know, Nancy, technology, I don't know, and I was trying to rush and figure it all out, but I don't know why I couldn't stream to YouTube as well. So anyway, so if you're on YouTube, I am so sorry. So hopefully you will catch, I'll upload it as soon as I can to YouTube, and it'll be available. Okay, so we are doing pumpkins, so let's get started so we can all get on with our day. So hi, Nancy and Carol and Betty. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I started the day off great with a video and sitting on my patio having coffee. So I don't know, it all went downhill from there. So, all right, so let's talk about pumpkins. Let me see here. What did I do? We're going to use the Pick of the Patch stamp set here. It's a new one in our mini catalog, and it's a punch bundle, which is really, really good. And you can find it in the 23 September through December mini catalog. It's on page 51 here. So let me switch you so you guys can see what's going on, right? So here's the pumpkin patch and the punch. So it's a bundle, and you can see it on 51 of your mini catalog. And if you don't have one, reach out to me so I can get one in your hands. So there you can see that what shapes, because they're outlined in white, but there's still lots of great easy pumpkins that you can fussy cut or stamp directly onto your cardstock. It's really a fun little thing. You could have a branch, like a vine of pumpkins. It could be a pumpkin tree. It could be whatever. And it does take care of that jack-o'-lantern look that you could add to your pumpkin. And I love having the crow as well. So kind of versatility and some really nice greetings in there as well. So we're going to use traditional colors of Halloween. Somebody sent me a sweet message. They saw one of my swap cards, which, I don't know if I have a handle on it, but you know what? I'll add a picture of it in my next newsletter, okay? Which hopefully will go out sometime this weekend. And if you're not quite sure, I think, is this my newsletter thing? You can subscribe to my newsletter right there. And if you're a brand new subscriber, you're going to get some project sheets, some new project sheets to get you started. So if you're brand new to my channel and you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, make sure to check that out, okay? All right, and if you wanted to place an order for any of these products, there's my September host code that you can go to my website and click on the Shop Now button. Okay, all right, so we're using, so I wanted to kind of get past, because the fall paper is right now not available. They had more come in this week, and I unfortunately did not get to order any, so I totally forgot that it was coming in, and I missed the boat on it. So no more of that beautiful copper fall paper that's on one side and all the scenery on the other. So this is a great alternative to use for any of your fall cards. The Ink Botanicals designer paper, and you can find this in our annual catalog. Okay, it's 6x6. and there's 12 double-sided designs. So a nice alternative for any of those fall cards. That's what I've been using because they're just so much bright and happier too. So I've been using that. So it's a great alternative. So we're going to start with this design here. It's got kind of like polka dots, and here's the reverse. And we're going to use thick basic white, okay? And this is 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And let me grab a bone folder here, even though I pre-scored it. I like to pre-score my thick cardstock because it's easier to give a better fold for it. And we're going to simply cover up the whole entire base, okay? And let's see, let's do this. Let's add some liquid glue. I like the liquid glue because it gives you that wiggle room to add this to it. And I like to start at the crease up here so I can make sure this is going to get covered up here. And then, because then you can always trim the bottom off a little bit. So see, this gets it lined up so you're kind of square on to your card base. So see what I mean? So it's a little easier to trim this than the top part where the fold is. Okay, so we're going to just trim off this little hairline of excess. A lot just depends on your trimmer and how you cut your designer paper. Okay, so we have our card base. So this is really a simple card. I'm calling this a sketch card, and I'll have this sketch tutorial in the next newsletter for you all to download, okay? So it gives you the sketch that we're using, okay? And then some basic supplies and the measurements, and kind of some basic instructions to create a card, okay? But a sketch is really anything that you want it to be, okay? So our next thing we're going to add is we've got a piece of basic white cardstock, and that's 3 1/4, and this is, we're going to adhere a 3-inch piece of designer paper from the Ink Botanicals. So we're going to just add this right on, oops, it's wiggling there. So let's move that back into place just to get a nice even border, okay? And we're going to just kind of set that aside. Now it's time to, we're going to stamp our greeting, okay? We're going to use the words, thanks so much, and let's do that. So I'm not going to go directly in the middle because I know I want my greeting in the upper left-hand corner because we're going to focus some pumpkins around our punch label. And we're going to use the Modern Oval Punch that's in our mini catalog as well. So I just want it over here in the upper left, but I also want to make sure my words are straight, okay? And just punch that out. So we've got our greeting there, okay? Everybody with me so far? Hi, Charlotte. Welcome. So make sure you're giving me thumbs up and hearts if you're loving this card too. Okay, so now we're going to do some pumpkin stamping, okay? So here is our punch, okay? Can you see how one of the pumpkins is sideways and this one's straight up and down? So when you're stamping, in order to fit that into the punch appropriately, you're going to want to make sure you've stamped it correctly, so you're going to have an easy time of punching it out, okay? So we're using traditional colors. We're going to use pumpkin pie, and if you're doing more than one, I tend to just do the same size at a time. So we're going to stamp one. I got to think here, yeah, because I also want to think how's this going to go in too. So depending on what side of the cardstock you stamp first, and we just need to keep it a little bit ways apart. And this is photopolymer, so you may find you want to use a foam pad as well. So we're simply going to do this. So let's punch and punch another one here. There we go. So I love using a skinny strip of, this is just a piece of scrap, versus a big piece and punching out all those extra pieces. So we've got 2 pumpkins so far. We're going to do a small one. So let's stamp that. So let's, let me think here. How do we want that to go in? Okay, so I'm looking at my punch again, okay? And the top of the pumpkin is to the left. So let's just use up this piece of cardstock here because there's plenty there. There's a little something on the stamp, but I think that'll be okay. And then we can just insert this into here, okay? And then this piece of scrap is all used up. So the way to do this is just kind of start gently pushing down on your punch to make sure you've got it where you want it lined up, and then give it a punch with 2 hands, okay? Sometimes, because it is a big punch and there's a lot of pieces for you to move, so I think it's sometimes a 2-hander, you know, 2-fister here to get it punched. Now we've got stems and we've got some leaves here, so let's do that next, okay? So we're gonna pull in some garden green next. Close that and grab some garden green. So we are today in central New York. We are having well, I mean, it's pretty good for fall. It finally has stopped raining, which I'm thankful for. So the chickens can get out because it is really, really muddy, you know, wet in their pen. Okay, so I've got 3 here. So let's punch our leaves here. Hopefully, okay, that stayed. And as you can see, okay, I kind of really close to that. So I'm going to just go to the next one and we'll punch that. I think we only need 2 anyways. Okay, we're gonna flip this around and now let's do some stems. We're gonna, and really you can use whatever color ink that you want. I've been seeing a lot of non-traditional colors being used, kind of like Gloss Lagoon and Peacock and just all kinds of different color schemes that are going on. So we'll just stamp a whole bunch of these, a couple of these stems for our pumpkins. Okay, and we will punch these out. These punch really easy. And you could stamp on colored cardstock if you, and that would have been a good choice for these. So it kind of gives you a darker look, and any color really. Okay, so we've got some parts and pieces here, and what am I gonna do? I'm looking for, do I have that? Rats, I don't. Let me see if I've got my silicone mat here. Here we go. So here's a little tip for you. If you have one of these, this is great for when you've got little tiny things like that. Just take your silicone mat right here and just give a little squeeze of glue, okay? And sometimes you can just kind of just get in there and put a little bit of glue on there. So I've got a little bit of glue on there, and then I could hear it. You might find that you get less glue all over your fingers by doing that. So hi Colleen, welcome. So we've got a little stem there. I'm gonna look at my sample. I think we're gonna put just put a leaf here. Okay, these leaves are a little funky. I like the smaller one. There's a smaller one in the stamp set that I think I would love to like fussy cut. And I'm not sure. I think, do you think this, am I putting the stems on right? Should they be, the big part should be at the top, right? Because there's kind of like a skinnier part and then a wider part. So let's do that. So has anybody done this glue tip idea before with their silicone mat? Leave me a comment if you have. And let's just put a little glue here. So the reason I didn't attach my label is we're gonna put our pumpkins on first onto the label. Okay, so let's just kind of play around with it for a minute and get a feel as to how we want this to look. So I think just like that. Okay, so let's put a little bit of glue here, and you don't need much because we're going to put some dimensionals on this afterwards. Oops. So let's do this. And hopefully I'm in view here. Okay. You love the mat. The mat is great for even just using your seal with to, you know, to adhere, seal to images as well. Okay, so we've got our label here. Isn't this going to look great right on there? So let's dimensionalize this right here. Now we can see exactly where we want to add some dimensionals so that they're distributed, you know, around and evenly. So let's do this, and let's see. And then this is really a simple card. You can punch away with tons of pumpkins. They're easy to punch and just fun. Okay, so we'll put some dimensionals on this, and we're almost done. I think we're going to stamp the inside just a little bit so we can decorate that up a little bit, because this is simple stamping, and you know, and this is a great card for even kids to play with, you know, to use and stamp, because it's just stamp, ink, and paper, and they're good. So I'm going to pull out my linen thread. The other day I was chatting on the phone with somebody, and so I kept busy by tying a whole bunch of bows, because and now they're ready to go. Isn't that sweet? I highly encourage you to pre-tie bows when you're just sitting watching TV or chatting on the phone. Okay, there we go. So let's add some little linen thread right here on this guy, and then give it a trim, and then we're going to stamp our inside, and then we're going to put one more kind of card together. All right, what do you guys think? Isn't that sweet? So it totally looks like fall paper, don't you think? All right, so I did put a scrap. Hang on, I did add a scrap. I've been saving my scraps here. So let's see, is this going to be big enough? Oh yeah, okay, we're going to add that on there. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I think we'll add this first and then we'll stamp, okay? This will really give it a little bit more. That's upside down. So let's just do that. So just these little pieces just add so much. I better move that. I've got stamps here. Okay, we are going to use, I didn't mount this. I'm going to use this skinny one right here. So let's see. Do I have another block here? Let me grab a block. Here we go. And we need some pumpkin pie, right? Definitely want some pumpkin pie here. So if you didn't like the stamp set, but you're in love with the punch, we're going to do another sample next. I didn't plan this out, so hopefully it goes well. So we're going to just kind of stamp that close to the end there. And then let's add a stem. I don't know. What do you guys think? Skinny at the bottom or at the top? I think at the bottom, like that, right? And then we're going to add this other leaf. I love this. And then there's like these squigglies too, which are kind of fun. Let's do this little one. Let's do this in garden green. And then we're going to add that fun crow as well. So you don't even really need designer paper for your card, I don't think. All right, so we're gonna do this. Hopefully this comes out. Oh, rats! Oh well. I don't know what we will put there, but I don't think there's a way to cover that up, but it's a sample, right? Because I should have been careful about, yeah. All right, I'm losing a stamp. Okay, here's the crow. I should have looked at it a little bit better. My desk is a total mess here. Okay, here we go. So let's add the crow on next. Let's put this fun crow right here. There. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? So what do you guys think? Got any suggestions on how to get rid of this? Oh, okay. So we've got our fun little thing. So we're going to add a little bit of embellishment here. These are I think they're the Neutrals adhesive sequence, which I love. It's just a nice selection. We've got gold and kind of copper and silver, and I don't know if that's espresso, but it's a deeper, browner color. So let's add, I wanted to add these sequins. Let's add these here. And just for a little bling, right? There we go. Okay, so let's check out doing this with just the punch and no stamps, okay? Stem skinny at the bottom. Okay, thanks, Colleen. Hi, Susie, welcome. Okay, good. I'm so glad. I'm gonna have to go check you out. Okay, all right, so here's the card right here, and it's crooked. So let's see if we can switch this a little bit, give it a little, usually if you loosen up 3 sides and then readjust. And if you're ever like, if your paper's really trimming, you know what I do? I just go in and snip the dimensionals and then put on new dimensionals. That way, dimensionals are cheap compared to paper. So, okay, so let's make one more, okay? At least let's make, yeah, because this is really quick, all right? It's really a quick card. So we're going to use this design right now. So let's, because I've got a sample with the stamp pumpkin so we can compare the two with just using the punch. So I want to move my silicone mat because that might still have some glue on it. So we're going to do this. Okay. And then we're going to adhere our designer paper again. So you guys are going to have this card down. And you could really do this sketch with anything that you, any focal image that you really want to use. You know, just kind of go with the measurements, approximate, and you could change up the measurements too as well. Okay. And we're going to just put this on right now. We can put this on with 4 dimensionals. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we're to this point, and I got glue right there. Oh my goodness. Let's use the adhesive remover here. I really wish we had sold these. Still sold them. Okay, so let's set that aside. Now we're going to go back to the same thing that we did before. Let me grab our greeting. We're going to do thanks so much again. And let's put this up there. And let's give it a punch. Does that look straight? Yep. Okay, so we've got that. So we're at the same point, right? So now what I've done is I pre-punched some pumpkins out of colored cardstock. Okay, and I ran it through. Can you see the texture on there? I ran it through an embossing folder. which one is it called? I think it's the exposed bricks. Yes, it's the exposed bricks. So let's do that. All right, so let's put some glue there. And I punched pecan pie cardstock as well. Okay, so we're going to do that. And let's just go ahead and put this, we're going to kind of do the same layout here, right? Let's just kind of go like, how did I do that? I guess we did it up a little bit. And then I'm going to add a second big pumpkin. Come on. So let's add that. Some glue. And this probably would be good with, I didn't plan this out. This is really flying by the seat here, everyone. All right, I've got another piece here. Now the leaves, I took and I used a different embossing folder for the leaves. So I used the, I think it's called wood grain. Here's timber. That's what I used for the leaves, was timber for the leaves. Okay, so let's add that on there. Yeah, maybe some different colors would be good with this, right? Because maybe not enough definition, but hey, it's a trial and error, right? So let's add a leaf up here. And then I've got another leaf here. So just add some dimension, especially if it wasn't in your budget to grab, you know, to get the whole bundle. Punch is definitely, you know, an inexpensive alternative. All right, what do you guys think? I think it's not bad. I'd probably maybe switch it out, maybe a little sponging. That's what I was gonna do. Hang on. Let's add a little sponging to this. All right. Kind of forgot what my plan was. Let's just go. Oh yeah, I think let's get rid of that. That makes the difference, don't you guys think? Except for I don't like how I got ink all over that. So we're gonna just flip it over to the back side maybe. Might be able to. Let's just do that. And I've got one more up here. Okay, there we go. Let's add some dimensionals. Where'd they go? And so that's what you have to do. You have to just play around with your stuff, have fun. Don't let it intimidate you, because it's just stamp, inks, and paper, right? So, okay, you love these pumpkins. I'm so glad. So, guys, which one do you like? Remember, this is fly by the seat, this option number 2. So, glue, glue, glue. All right, so let's add this onto here. Let's grab another bow here, right? And here's the glue dots. Let's add a glue dot. There we go. And we'll give it a little trim. And then you're going to have to vote, okay? Let's get the side-by-side here going. Let's move this mess here. That and that. And then we got to add some sequins, which disappeared. Here we go. I got ink here. You know what? Let's go with these darker ones, okay? I want one there. And then let's put one here. And then let's put one down here. Okay. Did you notice how I slid open the side on my packaging here? So, I don't know, because I was always struggling with the flap, right? And this just slides in so much easier. Usually I just pull out the sheet like that and it just kind of, the cardboard stays in. But that makes it so much easier than to do with that gluey flap there. All right, so what's the verdict, everyone? Which one do you like, or do you like them both equally? Okay, let me know in the comments what you love about them. But you could, you know, definitely, you could even shade the leaves a little bit too. I think would be totally fine, right? I think I would want to do more of those. So, okay, I've got 2 cards to give away today. One that's completed and one I will have a kit. The kit will include the punch pieces that you can do whatever way you want to your cards. You can even stamp, use like a different stamp on them too. It doesn't necessarily have to be the ink, be the actual pumpkins. It could be, you know, a background type of stamp just to give it some texture. So, okay, so you love them both. Thank you, Colleen. Okay, so leave a comment, and I'll choose a couple winners. And you like number 2. Thanks, Charlotte. I know the texture is kind of fun. I'll have to finish off the inside. So, yeah. Oh, here's my original one right here. So see the difference? So these have the same designer paper and the same that. And I think they both, I'm leaning towards this one that I like better. So, so fun. So, make sure to come back and watch me on Friday at 3 p.m. on YouTube only. I will be, we'll be sharing more pumpkins. So I've got a fun fold with the pumpkins for you all. So make sure to come see me there. And if you need anything, don't be afraid to reach out. And thanks so much for joining me. I so appreciate you. Maybe in your store. You would enjoy a kit. Okay. I'm sure you would, Colleen. Okay, everybody. Thanks. Oh, Kathy, there you are. You like number 2 better. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow, Kathy. So thanks so much, everybody. I've got to get back to work. All right. Bye-bye. Thanks so much.